Welcome to the Gonzo Chronicles. I'm your host, Cyrus Alderwood, the official spokesman for Generation X. Stick around. It's going to get weird, as always. Wow, what a heat wave we're all in. I've got listeners from different parts of the country, from Georgia, Florida, California, New Mexico, Arizona, Oklahoma, Northeast, Michigan, Ohio, just all kinds of places, Kentucky. So, man, we are in a freaking heat wave. I was out working on a new book with a colleague, and was out scouting, doing some like, in-person research near Fort Knox on Wednesday. Great area, by the way, but it's hot as hell, like literally. I found myself inside one of the silos, and an empty silo that we had like a little staging area for. Wow, if I thought like 96 degrees outside was hot, step inside of a silo. See how you like that for about 20 minutes. It's a sauna. I was literally wringing wet by the time I got back in the car. I could feel the collar around my shirt wet, and my hair was like matted to my forehead. Yeah, it was that bad. Anyway, hope everybody's staying cool. Um, and if not, just be cool. I don't know what else to tell you. Hey, I'm going to spoil a couple of things. Um, I want to talk a little bit about the ending of Stranger Things, and I'm going to talk about Top Gun Maverick. So, if you haven't seen them, spoiler alert, you probably don't want to listen. I'm just going to toss a couple of things out that I was surprised about the show. Um, First of all, though, let me kind of bring this up. Everybody knows the Bermuda Triangle, but there's this show that's on TV called the Alaskan Triangle. I think it's on the History Channel. They talk about the Alaskan Triangle. Um, I'm kind of wondering how many people watch that or have seen an episode or heard of it. But did you know that in Alaska, 5 out of every 1,000 people go missing? And that's according to the LA Times. So if there's nothing supernatural going on, it's probably pretty easy to get lost in the wilderness up there. But there's a tribe that lives up in Juneau. Uh, I'm going to butcher it. Lingit tribe. It's spelled Tlingit. So they live in Juneau. They kind of have their own explanation for all these missing people. Get this: evil spirits called the Kushtaka. Now, the Kushtaka, according to the Lingit tribe, uh, are shapeshifters. They're half man and half otter, and they lure women and children to the water by crying or whatever, and then they steal their human spirits and drown them. Now, how's that for an urban legend? I mean, that's pretty creepy. I think a while back I talked about Slaughterhouse Canyon, and that man, that was that is one creepy urban legend. That's out in Arizona. Um, of course, we all know the Boggy Creek in Arkansas. What else is out there? We know the Haunted Cheeseman Park in Colorado, Denver. I'm sure there's all kinds of actually weird urban legends in Denver. Uh, I'll have to get into that sometime. Um, we also have the ghost of Mr. Chew in Delaware. I'll get into that sometime too. I love urban legends. These are funny, and there's some great stories. But Florida, there's a lot of urban legends in Florida. The Florida Man being one of them. I love those funny ones. But anyway, let's jump into yeah, let's jump into Top Gun Maverick. You know, one of the sad things. I love the movie, by the way. It was a great movie. It really kind of picked up right where the '80s version left off, so it didn't leave anything. The only person that wasn't there was Kelly McGillis. But you know, you had Tom Cruise. Of course, you know his wingman Goose died. But in this one, there's a top secret mission that he has to actually go back to Top Gun and teach these kids how to fly. Now they bring in the best in the world, these pilots, to learn this one route to go in and bomb a facility that is highly guarded and hard to get to just because of the terrain. And they have to stay below a certain altitude to avoid radar, which makes it even more deadly. And you don't have to be psycho to fly this. But one of the pilots in this is Goose's son. And when I was watching the movie, I was like, I know they're probably not related in real life, but to Anthony, what was the guy's name that played Goose? Anyway, um, but yeah, he looked just like him. I mean, he looked like he could have literally been his son in real life. But fascinating movie, fascinating film. Yeah, you get teased at the end because you almost think that Tom Selleck's character gets killed, but he doesn't. Right? So him and Goose's son survive, and they find their way to this another plane actually to get out of there, out of enemy territory. There's still an enemy plane, which is one of the old F-14s that Cruise's character flew in the first one, and it's kind of like a dinosaur plane now, but they fly out of there anyway and make a crash landing onto their boat with a little help from some of the others, getting enemy fighters off of them. So what a cool film! What a cool film. Um, anyway, if you haven't seen it, go see it. You're gonna love it. And Val Kilmer was in this Iceman. He was actually kind of one of the top brass, but there's a machine that he uses that talks for him. And but actually, I think he actually spoke a little bit in this one. Val Kilmer's in bad shape in real life, and they didn't think he was going to make the movie, but he agreed to do it. And um, anyway, man, it was sad. It was very sad to see Val Kilmer in such shape in real life, but you know, it is what it is. And he cowboyed up and did this movie and did this part, and it was a very small part, but it was good to see him in it. It kind of sort of made the movie absolutely worth it, even if the rest of the story was awesome. Just seeing Val Kilmer in there and kind of pulling that off was like, yeah, that was awesome. Check out the movie. Stranger Things, man, what a season this has been. This is by far, I think, the best season, even though all of them have been great. Sad thing is, man, we lose some characters in this. At the end of season three, you thought Harper was dead, but what the Russians did, they actually found him alive in the bottom of that explosion, and they put him in a Russian gulag. So he's way out there in frozen territory. I guess what the Siberian area. Anyway, it's near Alaska, and they find out about it. And what's her name, Janet? Her and the crazy conspiracy theory guy with the beard, the older guy. Actually, they go in and try to rescue him. So that's part of the season. So one part of the season happens over in Russia with them trying to get from Alaska into Russia and then get him out of there and back to America. Um, the other part is this portal's opened up back in Hawkins, and now your characters that are there that are still left, um, they have to. They're there to fight it without without 11. Now 11, meanwhile, is living out in California, and her boyfriend flies out to to see him, to see her, and visit his friends and stuff like that. Um, but 11's lost her powers, but she gets kidnapped by the government again. So Papa isn't dead. Um, they come back and get her, and then they know something bad has happened in Hawkins, so they're trying to help her get her powers back. But these people are monsters to begin with, so you get a backstory of what happened uh, way back when you thought maybe she killed all those kids with her powers, but she didn't. There was another person in there that was actually Papa's real son, and he had some crazy, crazy powers. He's the one that's operating from the upside down, and he was a very strong character. So he was very prevalent in this. So they call him Vecna. Um, you're gonna learn all about the Hellfire Club. This is fun. This is a fun season. But the coolest character of all, Eddie. We had to say goodbye to Eddie. But I will say that there's nothing cooler than seeing somebody play uh, Metallica in the Upside Down. So, Master of Puppets. Anyway, great song, great series. So just, yeah, I mean, I hate to see the death, and of course, man, what happened to oh, what's her face? I'm drawing a blank on all the characters' names. All of a sudden, Justin comes out of it, or Dustin comes out of it relatively unscathed. Got a little bit of an injury, but his friend Eddie runs a Hellfire Club. Didn't make it out, and the whole town hates him. So the whole town hates the Hellfire Club because of these deaths that were happening that Vecna was responsible for. They were blaming them, like some occult thing. But what a cool freaking season this has turned out to be. I'm actually probably going to go back and watch this again. So hate to spoil these things for you guys, but I warned you up front. Watch them anyway. They're going to be great. Top Gun Maverick. While you're at it, go check out Elvis at the theater. That's some badass stuff. And TCB, Taking Care of Business, and Stranger Things. Anyway, I'm kind of coming to you a little bit quieter than usual from my office in Frankfurt. I'll be back with another podcast maybe this weekend. I'll be back in the saddle this weekend, back in Virginia, and we'll see what we can come up with. Maybe some other cool urban legends. Anyway, see you guys on the flip side. Cheers.